also known as AJ Stitch on Instagram, and I am here for my 11th floss tube. And a floss tube is mostly about cross stitch. So if you are a like-minded cross stitcher, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. I usually throw in a little knitting or reading too, and I have a little bit of both, maybe. I'm not fully certain if I'm going to disclose everything today. So I would like to start off with a huge thank you to a viewer. Her name is Polly, and she sent me my first ever Happy Mail. And she sent it weeks ago, and I haven't filmed in way too long. But she sent me this adorable little card, which is just so sweet. And then she also sent me this pattern. Here Comes Peter Cottontail. Thank you so much, Polly. It totally made my day. Like, I love mail anyway, and that's even if I'm the one buying the things. But then to get a gift, love it. Thank you so much. And then, if you've watched my last, 7, 8 floss tubes, I had been working on the Snowy Chockful Jar, which was a collaboration between Hands On Design and Priscilla Blain. And I finally finished it. It got finished completely on Monday of this week. It's taken that long. Today is Wednesday, April 14th. And the jar is finally done. All the jar that you all know if you've been watching. This took me forever. And then I also finished the little small that goes with it. And this was just a scrap of fabric, so I didn't worry about overly measuring it. I just knew it would fit. So that's my finish. Whew, you don't have to look at that one anymore until I finally fully finish it, but that'll be forever from now. And then I also started, because I always have to have a project at work for my lunch break, I've started the next one in the series of the Chockful Jars, which is, it's going to have a glare, the Hip Hop Chockful Jar with the bunnies. And I wasn't sure if this was going to be hard to stitch, even though most of the spring holidays are already over and time has passed and we're starting to stare down summer. But I did get it started and I love it. My first bunny head is done. He just needs his ears colored in. My lighting's terrible, by the way. It is gray and drizzly here in upstate New York. It's sunny all day long while I was at school. Then the second we sent the kids home, it started to rain. So that's what we have for weather now. And I don't know, I can't get the pink to show up at all. But those little flowers right there are so sweet and pink. And then he put that little bit of pink in his ears and his nose. And then he's got carrots and another giant jar that's going to take me forever. But I just love it. And this is, I don't know if he'll show up. He hasn't shown up yet. But this is my little needle minder that I got from, I think it's Caffeinated Cat Crafts on Etsy. And I think of it as my little Apollo. Let's see if I can get him to focus. There he is, a little lion head. I don't know if he'll come out. I was wearing shoes as I ran through the house to prepare for this, and shoes are the scariest things ever, and sometimes you have to go hide in the closet when people wear them. Not feet, shoes. I don't know. So since my last floss tube, which it's been, I think, almost a month, I have been very distractible when it comes to stitching. I have not stitched as much as usual. There has been some nice weather. I did go on vacation for a couple of nights to the Finger Lakes in New York State, which is our wine country. And I stitched very little. Oh, Peanut and Apollo right here. Okay, here he is. He just wanted to kiss her. He can be good up there. We'll see. She's down here, so that's a problem for him because he likes to always be near her. So you can see the distraction already. I'm glad I'm showing that off pretty well. But, so things have been going on. We've had nice weather, and I've gotten actually to go out and play golf, which is my sport that I like to play. So I'm just going to go through what I know I've worked on since finishing that and starting that. It's mostly all whips that you've seen before, but there's been some progress. My other new start, and I don't think I have a picture of the cover, but I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. It's the Hello Pumpkin, the big tree by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I don't have a cover picture. And I'm doing this as a stitch along with Emma X Stitches and Belushi Stitches on YouTube, and I'll link all their information below. They've just been wonderful. We're in an Instagram group for this one, and that's my progress on this one. I really don't love the color though. Like, I love the color of this, not the color that it's showing you. Let me see if I can turn the light down a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Oh, that's a little better, because these colors are really bright and vivid normally. And I've been stitching on it in the mornings lately. I did a pumpkin yesterday morning when Apollo got me up at 4 a.m. And then I worked on this pumpkin a little with my coffee. But just loving it. So we're stitching it one part a month from the parts that were originally released when it was released forever ago. And I love that format of a stitch along. I love knowing I have to do this much. So I feel really good about it. I'm motivated to work on this one right now. And I'm expecting to finish it this week. So that's one thing I meant to stitch that I've actually been stitching. Then I've been also doing the Magic Kingdom style by Cunning Cross Stitch. And this is a free pattern. And it is like delightful to work on. But I'm still in the March part. I'm way behind, probably because I keep starting new things. You can see the Little Mermaid, you can see the Alice in Wonderland Tea Party, and I've started Snow White. So this is Snow White, and this is going to be a poison apple, and then there's the little line of the dwarves walking. So I have a lot of work to still do to catch up, because now there's an entire Lion King section to do. But this is where we're at. I hope I get it back out soon. I have so many things I want to stitch. My only successfully completed project that I meant to get as far as I got was my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers, which is this one. And I'd gotten down to about here, and I knew that I wanted to finish it this year. So I decided to do one group of words, one little phrase in the picture each month. So since I've shown it last, I've completed the March and the April section. So I had Time for Bed for March and Angels Singing was my April section, and they're both completely done. I'll show the whole thing. It's pretty big. Big piece, but I just think it'll look great as a seasonal piece to have on the wall at Christmas. So it's getting there. It's on track to be done in a few months. I think I only have 3 more word sections, and then that'll be perfect. Apollo just got off the couch to lay on a cross stitch project, because that seemed like a really good place for him to lay down. He's so sweet. Yeah. Okay, so then I also do WhipGo, and I have a cute WhipGo board, and I'm still working on my March WhipGo, and it's just so many things and not enough time. I'm still happy I'm doing it, but this was on my March WhipGo, and it was the Year of Celebrations by Hands On Design, and I decided to spend 5 days working on this, and I ended up, I think I've so far worked on it 2 days. And so I'm on the August one. I showed this last time. And so July is all finished up. There was July, so I'm on the August block now. And I plan on finishing these all separately, but I love that sunflower. That was really fun to stitch. And the time I put on this, I felt like I was getting far. But then I set it aside because there's a million different styles going on, and I'm doing them all, apparently. My other March WhipGo is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. And I've put what I consider 2 of the days that I needed of the 5 I plan on putting into this. And I've actually made some progress, because when I last showed it, I had only done like the snow. And since then, like, there's some actual roof and window tops, and it's filling in pretty good. My only stress with this one is that I decided to do it. It's on a 32 count fabric. It's a Dapple by Picture This Plus. And I decided to go with one thread because it has a lot of white stitches. I always prefer my white stitches when I can use one thread. However, I don't feel like I'm necessarily getting the best coverage on the roof tiles. But I think it's gonna look wonderful if I just don't overly fuss and just let it happen. This is covered in Apollo's fur as well. And it's flying through the air as I show it to you. So if you catch that, those are just Apollo hairs. He's really quite proud of them as he's putting more in that cross stitch over here. So I still plan to put more days into that, and I was really enjoying working on it, so that could pop back out at any time. Another one that I joined is, just like everybody else, joining the King of Cross Stitch, Sal. If you know modern folk embroidery, this is the Fruit of Plenty, the 2021 stitch along, and it's released in parts, a section a month. And so this was March, and this is April, and I'm solidly still in March. I think I'm close to 40% done with March, but maybe it's closer to 30 now that I look at it again. I haven't touched it in a couple weeks. And I'm doing it in pale greenish blues. Doesn't look blue because they're mostly green. There's the January, the February, and here's where I am in March. And I love working on it. It has nothing to do with the project or the pattern or anything. I can't wait to hang that on a wall. I just have so much stuff going on. And you're about to see the piece that has distracted and taken up most of my time. And part of it's due to the fact that it's on Pattern Keeper and I love using it. Part of it's because it's full coverage and I've suddenly just been enjoying a full coverage piece. Part of the problem is that I love the colors. Oh, they're so bright and fun. And then it's also because my friends, my Flosstube friends, hi, I hope you know you're my friends, keep posting wonderful progress pictures, and then they'll show a section that I can't wait to get to, and oh, I just have to stitch on it to try to get to that color. So this is Mini Sunflower Cottage, and this is currently where I'm at, and I kind of described my method during my last video, but I've seen Belushi has gotten to this red heart down here, and oh, I want to stitch that. And then somebody else has gotten into the umbrella a little bit, and I really want to stitch that, but I'm just working my way down because this blue, and if you're stitching this, you know all about how much 995 is in there. So much 995. I don't want to get to a point where I've done all the fun stuff and only have boring stuff and never stitch it, because that's totally something I would do. But oh, the detail in that, right? All those little colors. I just think it's gorgeous. And this is another Sal that I'm oh, I'm so glad I jumped in on that one too. There's just simply not enough hours in my day. And then I do this terrible thing where I get tired and go to bed, and I don't know. We'll see. So those are the main projects I've actually worked on, I think. I did almost finish my pink socks that I've been showing. So I'm going to pull them out again. They're so close to done, and I've just been really naughty. So these are Hermione's Everyday Socks. I always link the pattern and yarn below. And this is on Flawless Queen Charlotte by That Yarn Habit in fingering weight. It's an 80% merino, 20% nylon blend. And this was the first sock. Pretty happy with that. And then this is the second sock. And you'll see that it looks almost the same, except it's got these pointy needles still sticking out at the end. All that is left is doing the Kitchener stitch. That's it. And I keep putting it off. And part of the reason that's happening is because I wanted to stitch more of this in the car. And these little needles were free. And so I popped the next yarn on and started those too, but I've only done a little bit. So I've got a little bit of a cuff started. I decided to go with the same pattern because when I knit these pink ones, I did the wrong thing at the end of the cuff, and I didn't put in a single row of knit, and I decided I wanted to fully do the pattern out and get the full effects. So I started this, and this blue long yarn is also by That Yarn Habit, and this one is called Diamond of the First Water, and these are part of their Bridgerton line that came out the end of winter maybe, and the colors are absolutely stunning. I just lean back more. Let me take the yarn out of Peanut's mouth. But it's absolutely stunning yarn. I'm loving stitching with it. It's fun. I just have to finish this sock so that I can wear the other pair. Somebody else has to have done this too, right? Please tell me I'm not the only one that got 10 stitches away from finishing and then started a new sock and got distracted. I don't know. I just can't focus right now. I'm kind of hoping to get a little more organized and pull myself together over the next week. And I have a quiet weekend planned, so maybe things will come together then. In my world of reading, I've started The Lost Apothecary, and I'm really good at reading. Hold on. Apollo, this isn't a good time to play ball. Thanks. He has one of those spinny ball things. It's the loudest toy ever. But I'm really good at reading about 2 pages of this a night. And then my eyes fall down. However, I'm not wrapped up in the story yet. I'm a little curious about it. It's jumping back and forth in time, and the one character who's in modern times is about to do something called mudlarking. I believe I have that word correctly, where they look in the mud of the Thames to find pieces of history, which it's kind of cool. It's totally something I would do. Hold on. Apollo, can you come here? You know, he's a cat. He doesn't actually come. What is the problem? Come here. I might have to cut this out because he's just being naughty now. Come here. Come on. This is the naughtiest you've ever been during a filming. Come here. There. Okay. So, I'm hoping to get a little further into that book and enjoy it in its entirety and maybe have an actual review of some sort, but right now I'm just liking the part where they're looking in the mud. What kind of book review is that? I started thinking about Mania, and I'm really curious about what everybody else is doing for Mania this year. I don't necessarily feel like I need to start a whole bunch of new things. I have a lot going on. I think I currently have over 30 whips, which is plenty for me. And there's so many things I really want to actively stitch on. So if you have some varying ideas for Mania this year that you're willing to share with me, I'd really love to hear them. Very curious about that. How everybody's going to approach this, because it's only a couple weeks away. So if it's something you're kitting up, you got to start now so that you get your supplies. But I feel a little lost with it this year. I'm behind on my Flosstube. I know there's new Flosstubers I need to get out and watch. Turn on would probably make that phrase work a little better. I've been enjoying all my favorites as usual. Darcy called me out for being late on this video when he messaged me yesterday, and I knew he was right. He had a solid point there. But I don't know. There was sunshine in the sky, so I couldn't focus. And then all the stitching things that I made very little progress on any of. I don't know. Let me know what you're doing for Mania, and I'm going to go catch up on some Flosstube this evening and hopefully make some even more new friends because you've all been wonderful. So I can't wait to watch your videos, and I hope everybody else is enjoying the beginning of spring wherever you are, or I guess if you were in the southern hemisphere, it would be the beginning of winter. Whew. I have snow in my forecast again tomorrow night, and I'm just pretending that's not real. All right, take care, everyone, and I hope to talk to you all soon.